pick it up off of its transporter that transports it from the production site, lifts it up, puts it down onto the launch mount, and then it will pick up the second stage or the upper stage Starship and plop it down on top of the booster. And they did that for the first time last year. Actually, I think it was like Valentine's last year was the first time they used the chopsticks to stack it, and now they're doing it quite frequently. But ultimately, those chopsticks have to serve a second purpose. They're actually going to utilize, if you say it's not so much they're going to catch the booster with these chopsticks. It's not like a dad trying to catch a falling child. It's more that the booster and the Starship will someday land on those arms. So they're more or less stationary. I'm sure there's some bit of adjustment that the arms will do, but more or less the rocket's going to forcibly land and get picked up by what's essentially two relatively small ball joints that hold the entire thing. So it has to land very precisely on these mounts and onto the launch mount, and that's when we just place it back onto the stand and allow it to be refueled and fly again.
What's the idea of using the arms versus having what's the benefit?
You are basically removing the mass of what would be heavy landing legs, and you're putting kind of that landing infrastructure onto a ground system. So you're not having to carry those landing legs into orbit.
But it's also elevated off the ground. Is there some aspect of that where you don't have to balance the thrust and all the...
You can see some of those, there's plume interaction. These pre and rocket big. It's going to be 3 Raptor engines firing. You're really close to destroying the crater of the ground. Or have super long, tall, to make it to not do that. So you're avoiding cold metal by catching it.
How many engines are involved as far as the 3 Raptor engines?
Well, we haven't actually, we haven't stated the exact length sequence, so they might light up, 7 or something, or 9. They accelerate quickly, or decelerate quickly, I would say. And the roll axis, you can do pitch and yaw. So you can easily pitch and yaw the vehicle, which actually induce roll along its vertical axis. You would either need auxiliary engines to roll it, or you need a pair of engines so they can be opposed and induce roll. So by having 2 or 3 running, they have all 3 axes of control that they would need, kind of like a broomstick, bouncing broomstick on their hand.
Yo, dog.
Just move it over, and if they need to align it to those landing nubs, on the landing arms and stuff like that, then they can do that.
Speaking of pitch and yaw, the thing, so Starship flips on its belly flops. There's a interesting kind of maneuver on the way down to land. Can you describe that maneuver? What's involved in that?
Yeah, so this is definitely a first. I don't think anything's tried landing like this before, but the idea is when you're falling through the atmosphere can actually do a lot of work. You're moving quickly, something is falling from space. There's a lot of energy involved.
You have a really good video on this as well.
And as it's falling, you can get. So with the same exact vehicle, you can actually have a lot more drag. You can actually sustain the energy that you don't have to use. Anywhere else. You don't have to use an engine to slow you down. You don't have to do anything else. So SpaceX realized, okay, if we put this thing on its side and let it fall like a skydiver almost, instead of pencil diving into the pool, you're belly flopping. You're maximizing the amount of surface area that's in in the windscreen that's being slowed down. But obviously, like, in order to land, especially if you're SpaceX, you might as well use engines that you put landing, like on its belly, as opposed to having the forces be vertical through it.
Not a lot, but you. Complexity to the maneuver, the possibility where failure could happen, in order to sort of save, in order for the air to do some of the work. So what is some of that complexity? Just if you can linger on it.
If you think about what it's going to take to go from horizontal to vertical, this rocket in particular, the Starship, has these big flaps. So it has kind of two nose flaps and two rearward flaps. The rearward flaps are a lot bigger because the majority of the mass, the engines and stuff, are in the back of the vehicle. So in order to kind of be stable, and they just fold themselves inwards, like on their dihedral angle, at a dihedral angle, in order to increase or decrease the drag. So you can control it, all three axes of control, while it's falling, on its belly. You can control it that way using these four different things. So you have these giant
James Bond, that's what I thought it was. Shalom, how you doing, big dog? I hope you have a blessed and beautiful day yourself.
Control surface. So that's a huge
hope all's good in your neck of the woods.
And developing that landing algorithm and the control for a
I
huge
thought that
vehicle
was you.
with flaps going like in and out, in and out, in and out to stay stable. Then right as you
Amazing.
light the engine,
Bong James Bond.
now all of a sudden you want the top.
Amazing.
You want to flip the rocket 90 degrees, so the rearward flaps, the bottom flaps, fold in. They tuck all the way in to minimize drag. That's going to make it want to swing down. You extend the upper flaps. That makes it so the nose wants to pitch up. You kick on the engines. They're now lighting all three engines, at least as of the last successful attempt. They light all three of the sea level Raptor engines, and they're pitched all the way, like 10 or 15 degrees or whatever the maximum pitch is on them. And that induces it does that kick maneuver to kick it over from horizontal to vertical. Now the problem is you lit your engines while you're horizontal, so they put some horizontal velocity into the rocket. They push the rocket. At the time the nose is at the time of lighting those engines, the nose is facing the horizon, and the engines are facing the opposite horizon. Okay, so you now shot it a decent amount in off the direction that you're not falling. So you have to factor that in to where you're landing, because you're going to land on this precise. In this case, you're going to land on the inside of the arm, the loving arms of the chopstick. The Creed arms wide open, and try to land inside.
That's exactly the song that you're playing through my head, and I watch this now. Thank you. Thank you for forever.
There he is. Just grabbing some cappuccino. Oh, fancy.
And you have to very precisely control. So what you have to do is, now that it's done that kick, you also have to cancel out that horizontal velocity. So it's actually going to rotate beyond the 90 degrees. But you cancel horizontal velocity, and then modify it to make it so the throttle is so that it can control itself into a control loop. And all of that, all of it stupidly goes to the ground. It looks absurd. So far they've done 5 of these. All the first 4 were all coming in from about 10 kilometers. Again, just booster. It's like it's like 50 meters, 100 meters wide, so 30 feet. Something like 100,000 kilograms. Quarter of a million. And the first 4 attempts are pretty spectacular failures. So what stage doing this stuff on?
So this is the stage
with it. You have like to be here. Yeah, you have some extra mass wings, but so this has the extra those flaps. And, the like lighter weight to do that versus extra. So yeah, that's a funny thing. I did some simulation. Like, you can get an eye into space if you leave yourself. I have a bunch of land. At least I'd be doing that pretty quickly. That's the thing is, this thing on Mars has a runway. Figure to utilize a flight like that, so you have full landing. You're not on a sort of people. It's all exactly like minute, but all of these.
There's not much for that. For the people.
There's only one the atmosphere on Mars. That's fine. It's possible. Perhaps it's still going to be perpendicular to this. I guess like 60 degrees where it's going. Especially do that. Use up the atmosphere is still going to be important. Now on Mars, there's 30% cover. So there's a lot of problems. Certainly, you can do that. 5,000 meters of gravity drag. Just more slowly, gently. Gravity, maneuver. It would something at some from more or less perpendicular there.
I'm still going to talk about differences between Earth and Mars. This is a read for this actually. This is something that was because it has about.
Yeah. In my I will see dedicated to it. Again, if someone has function and better than running, then it's dramatic, but it's developed in multiple landmarks and not Mars. Different Earth. They'll still launch something. There's like that particularly people will not be modified. The human stars are on top one. Is reused over and over. Just if you get it, they have it's out of your atmosphere. You need to get it. Like transfer vehicles on Mars. Let's say it's something like the super active. You want to get a landing starship, and that's like one makes it. Like there's I think also when we talk about the spatial is everything. That's the space for the parents. For the artists. So to be making it like
and once it's working, only people play off the fly. Why chair? So we tweeted one time around Delta V is headed fuels to get later. So you just
more doing work and get it every second. Every second and 20. The first Georgia cycle. So the more it is fighting meters hydrogen crossing 50 obviously returns and gravity ratio. Yes, let's make it more aggressive. It's a better argument. So that's a matter of
but that does not feel like and about this test telling you
if you read about it and car is going down. It's the and it's right on the it's the high is crazy all the way down. We're talking, 100 dirty, sodium on and out. That's kind of the program. So crazy you're driving on highway bumpy and you're really hot all over. I mean, you can see it. Fair mind, that's a corner. Everything after pretty much 5 and there you just eat here, after this whole building, how much things arms on it and it was so weird. By definition, I think you're expecting it to not surreal. I mean, expected it to be surreal. You're expecting it to be pictures, it's surreal. It's also I feel like where over the next 2 years are well for sure see element what's it like to witness next to us. So our thing I it isn't things that it's not make a lot then that is general public miles away and we think it's slowly
No, I have
to be at the word here the PFA I mean,